this one. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 362. You're in your new room.
My cleaned up room somewhat because moved most of the shit out of the focal point, but it's getting cleaned up.
Sweet. The Lego is back in view.
Lego. The Lego is more interesting on this side than the other side, I think. In my opinion, there's more of it here, but I'll post some pictures afterwards when it's all cleaned up.
Just in case my internet is being weird, last time this happened, so I hope it doesn't happen again. I just had a major outage earlier, so
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see what we do, because I don't know.
We'll see, brother.
I mean, we had it reset on their side, but so far it doesn't seem to solve much of anything. Anyway, if you would like to buy something cool off of Skinny Play, use the link there in the description, but now also in chat. Use the discount code for 10% off, which is always nice. We have Tigrino Studios that shield the Beolab 8 covers. They have quite a lot of them.
They did an experiment now with the 28s, right? I think.
Yeah, that's on our Discord if you want to see that. Wait, where's the link? Oh, here. Also for Tigrino Studios, if you want to buy any of these sorts of covers or any of the other stuff, use the link and get 10% off. Maybe more importantly, go buy Willie a coffee.
Yay.
At buymeacoffee.com/BeoWillie. If you have any comments you will want an answer to, I will check this and we will get back to it. I'll actively monitor it, so that's good. Oh yeah, last thing, Discord. If you haven't yet subscribed, come join us if you want to see things ahead of time, like the 28 covers by Tigrino. They're there. So come join our Discord. God, we're at what, 1,400 people now? Something like that?
Yeah, we're very close to 1,400, I believe. I'll check. I'm just curious now. But yeah, it's growing steadily. 1,275, so 1,300 almost.
Yeah, it's God, it could. They should make a different site, like buywillieabourbon.com or something.
Yeah, that would be it.
Because it's hard to get in Canada.
Well, no, it's just hard to get in Quebec and Ontario. Alberta's not that brainwashed about it. They don't hate on it. Business as usual.
And I'm super warm, but how was your 2 weeks?
Extremely busy.
In a good way, in a bad way?
In a good way, in a bad way. We're still working on that Apple project right now. Their real push is on because they want to obviously have it open and running before December, right? Big sales. Yeah. In my opinion, they're already, in their eyes, are missing out on the iPhone 17 that just came out, right? The traffic, because the current store is packed, and this one is double the size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's massive. So apparently, there are 3 levels of Apple shops or stores. Yeah. Anything below $50 million in build cost is a regular Apple store. Anything between 50 to 1, anything between 50 to 150 million is called a flagship store, and anything over $150 million is called world flagship store, and San Francisco one per se.
My God.
They did, they did a world flagship store, I believe, in Vancouver. I think that one was $200-something million. Each pane of glass in that store, and there was, I think, 18 of them, was $10 million, or no, $1 million per pane. So it was 18 melons just in the glass for the outside. God. It's the same with this one. We are not even allowed to breathe on that glass. They've protected the shit out of it because the vestibule is now built out. So we're doing cabling up above. But yeah, It's amazing how much infrastructure actually goes into an Apple shop. Like all these LED lights, like shit that you never think of. It's just there and backlit and looking cool, right? But if you
Yeah.
actually look at the, if underneath the hood of it, it is an insane amount of wire that has been run. Some not utilized because of whatever, but it's pretty crazy, man. I think the access point situation is definitely an overkill. I think
Yeah.
there's 126 access points inside the building, and they're
Holy moly.
literally like 10 to 15 feet apart each, especially in the stairways. So I don't know. I don't think that's good for your battery life when your phone is hopping from hotspot to hotspot continuously, right?
Maybe they use it for the tracking stuff you can now do,
It
right?
obviously there's a lot more going on in there. Access control and cameras everywhere. AI, I think AI powered cameras. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But to me, that project just lost its magic because I'm at 200 something hours into it. It's fucking annoying.
Too many wires.
It's too much. It's way too much.
All right.
But
Well, something wireless that came out.
yeah, speaking of no cables attached,
It's
I really love the homage to the A8 from the 2000s.
yeah, that's the first thing I was thinking. Like that stem is kind of iconic B&O.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah,
it's
that's
done quite elegantly, I would say.
yeah, I'm really enticed to get them, quite honestly. Like I don't really justifiably need them, but I'll get them before they go up in price because they will go up in price as everything B&O, right?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, what do you think of the name? Beo Grace.
Uh, I don't know. I don't understand what the grace of it is. Like they are graceful, I guess, in a way, right? But I don't know. I think their naming standard, uh, just like they say in Denmark when I was in the factory tour, don't ever really question the logic behind the naming and numbering of the speakers per se as well, because it doesn't follow any pattern of logic whatsoever of any kind, you know. So just like you have Beolab threes, small Beolab fours, whatever, and Beolab fives are the cannons of flagships, right? So I don't know, but I really do like the way that they are designed. They're very, very cute. Very, very cute. The case is
Um,
also nice, but to me, it's just one of those things that like, am I willing to pay this much for more or less a semi-disposable product? Like, because let's say what it's a 3-year warranty on it, right? I don't know if you can get 5,
yes, if
but
you
if you,
sign up for the same thing with the H100s or in store.
so that makes sense. When you get a 5-year warranty on them, it makes sense because I'm sure that not every one of them will be perfect as far as the battery life, on each earbud. And I also found, well, I'm comparing EXs to it, which I know the 11s are out and they're better in noise canceling and yada 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 and more microphones and such. But to me, I guess the question is, right, like when I use my earbuds sometimes and I'm cooking and I watch the YouTubes, whatever, in the living room, as probably everybody knows what my living room setup is, except today. I stand behind the counter like the island, and the hood fan is on my left side.
Yeah.
That headphone dies 50% faster than the other one because it has to compensate for the hood fan noise much
Yeah.
more than the right one. So I wonder how that, like you don't see this or experience it on headphones like this because the wire goes from like it's all powered together, right? So it's
Yeah.
juiced off of one battery. But that's one of those things that I find that depends on which side the noise comes from, they will die faster. So let's say you're driving with them and you have the window cracked as a passenger. Depends if you're in uh, you know left or right side driving country. The headphone closer to the window will die faster, as it's probably the case for AirPods and everything else on the planet that supports noise cancellation.
Probably. Yeah, my AirPods almost never die at the same time
Hmm.
unless I use them only inside, which is
Yes.
rare.
I really like the homage to the H100s with the speaker port.
Yes.
Very, very, very cute. One thing that I would be concerned about, that these silicone earpods, whatever, the silicone
Tips.
ear,
Yeah.
ear cups, I guess, they look a little bit proprietarish to me, based on the little slat carved into the elliptical shape, as I would presume, right? Would be
Yes.
on the speaker port. So I think that those are going to be something proprietary to be, wonder if they're going to come out with the memory foam ones,
They really
but
should, because everything
I
else
think they should.
had
Yeah.
them. I also personally feel with memory foam, you need way less noise cancelling because it just seals better.
A, B, I find they stay in your ear way more securely.
Yeah.
Because they essentially contour around your ear canal. But yeah, they are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know how serviceable these things are based on, I think, the EU's requirement, right? That the things need to be serviced or serviceable.
It might be easier if now more of the batteries in the stem, but like was it the E11s, right? Like I wouldn't bet my house on it. Like iFixit showed at the time.
Yeah. I wonder if that stem only carries maybe a micro PCB board or nano PCB board with the microphones on each side, and the battery is actually in the ear cup where you can spool a bigger cell battery, just like it's in the EXs or E11s, right?
I mean, the battery life is quite short. With ANC on, it's 4.5 hours, which is plenty.
That's advertised, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, but you can charge it back in a few minutes, right? To a certain amount of listening time. So,
I think you
and
get
you
an
know
hour
what?
and a half in 5 minutes or something like that.
When I flew to Bahamas, I obviously flew from Montreal to Toronto. And, like when you sit and wait and do nothing, right? You put the headphones in, so you listen to some music, blah, blah. Then you get on the airplane, you listen to the headphones. One thing that sucks, in my opinion, that there should be a Bluetooth connectivity ability in the airplanes nowadays without the bloody, because if you got earphones that are Bluetooth like these, you're fucked. You're dependent on your own device, unless I don't know if you can carry a dongle, like to plug in.
You can connect the case to whatever outlet, and then your earbuds connect to the case.
That's interesting. I haven't done any reading on them. I've seen a little bit, so completely to me, I'm noobing it hard because, like I said, I've barely had time to. I worked yesterday, so I have 1 day weekend.
Yeah,
But,
I've been too busy as well. I mean, I did in kilometers. I don't know, like close to 5,000 or so in 10 days.
So yeah, we both had a damn good of a week. But I honestly think that some of that stuff may be improved over time with the software, just like they did with the H100s, right? There were some things that were not really, ironed out properly. And I remember when we got them out of the box, like they sounded fucked, but you had to update them immediately after out of the box, and then they were okay. Then they sounded great. And then there was another update that I guess boosted the volume level and so on and so forth, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, I think that they can still improve upon it.
Well, I mean, speaking of software, right, for the price, that is my biggest sort of qualm with them, especially for something this small, because it better be bloody perfect from the start. Like you're not buying
for £1,200 or euros. God,
Yeah.
this man, like these need to be performing out of the box.
It's 1,500 USD, so it's probably
so $2,000, $2,000 after tax in Canada.
Yeah,
that's a lot for headphones or earbuds per se.
Yeah, exactly. But it's better be perfect from the start, right? Like you better not have any, like, oh, it'll come.
From the brief moment that I spoke to Kareem, he said they sound absolutely fucking insane compared to anything that BNO's come up with so far.
Yeah, I believe them. The thing is, I always believe them on the sound, right? Like the sound is never really the issue.
No, the tag is issue right now.
Yeah, and the software. Because if I don't know, if for whatever reason, like you have connectivity issues from one to the other because the software is still half baked, like what are we doing for this sort of money, right?
Mm.
I mean, I do like them, but they're extremely expensive. Like
Again, high
extremely.
net worth individual money price. You know what I'm saying? This is like what you would buy EarPods Pro in Bahamas for God's sake. So I guess it's not that tragic.
Yeah. I, I, I mean, as earbuds go, I think they're gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. As a price goes, this is somewhat
It's
insane.
gorging.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I will hopefully have some time. I'll find some time because now the Quebec Zone is closed on Saturday, so I can't really just run in there. But hopefully, I'll find some time during the week when I finish within the decent hour and an evening. I'll pass by the store because I do want to hear them at least and see them and physically look at it because I'm leaning towards buying them, but these are the grill because I'm not buying both right now. But I think I'm gonna lean towards the Tegrino.
Yeah.
Not that I'll have more use out of it. I'll have 3 grills for God's sakes for the theater now. But it's
Kareem says they sound Atmos about as good as the H100, which is quite a feat.
yes.
But I mean, just in terms of buying, right? Like the H100s are a much more substantial thing you're buying in terms of material and that sort of thing. I mean, it's almost the
Yes.
intangible of it. I mean, also the battery life, the connectivity on that is a lot easier.
I think it's I think they should have been around $1,000 in my opinion. And that still would
Yeah.
be not as insulting, but yes, comparatively to H100s, how much more B&O in terms of material and craftsmanship you get is quite a bit. Plus, you accidentally drop one of these, it feels bad because you dent the shit out of that stem if you're lucky, because sandwich never lands on the floor, the dry side towards the floor, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really like the design. I cannot say enough about it. I really like the design, and I might I don't know. I might go as far as say that they probably will maybe enroll them in the atelier program to get different customizations so they can squeeze even more money out of it.
Probably.
Which it's not that hard to anodize a little bitty stem, right? For a pair of earbuds and a case, I guess. But yeah, I'm really wondering where they're
I
gonna
mean,
go with them.
in terms of price, the one thing I'm kind of hesitant about is right, like this current price has shown €1,200 or 1,500 USD is pre-order price.
Mhm.
Like, how long does this take before it adds another 200-300 in either denomination to it?
Currency is the case that makes them worth it. Um, if you can, yeah, 1,800 Canadian. So, but yeah, I really like them. I do like them. I don't like the price. I'll have to read up on them and what that case does that it's make them so much, so good. But at the end of the day, like for my normal use, I don't think I would be streaming through the case through my phone, right?
Yeah.
So, but I want to see. I'm gonna stop by the shop, Kareem, and see them because I'm very intrigued.
I mean, these are like, I'm not against expensive things, right? But there is a sort of weird arbitrary limit on that. The smaller it goes, the more expensive it gets.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, and like you, I am very much considering them, but if I actually analyze where I use most of my earbuds. This price is sort of where I get shifty, where like if they were to fall out, if I got too sweaty and they, I don't know, got loose, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what happens if you're, I don't know, mowing the lawn, right? And it pops out. That sort of stuff.
No, for me, like if I were to amortize the use case of them, it's not much. It's either like I honestly use my EXs rarely. I use them mostly for phone calls when I have a cigar with Nathan over the phone on, every odd Saturday or Friday night, whatever. So I spend 2-3 hours on the phone. But normally that's one of the use cases. The other one is watching TV with the headphones when I'm cooking, so I can hear better because of the hood fan. And if you're frying steaks and whatever, it's just loud. But that's about it. Like I just cannot justify $2,000 for having a sonic experience of none to be compared with when cooking, right? Listening to a fucking YouTube video. And it's not like I'm listening to high def music. The only use case would be for me is flying, which depends on how much traveling happens now after the pardon. I might use them a little bit more in the airplane, where I guess that entire noise canceling benefits come in play.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The same way I actually bought Apple AirPods is mostly because they are so cheap, right? And like, I mean, I've had several phone calls with my sister, like whilst actually being on the lawnmower, and she couldn't hear a damn thing. Like, as in, like she couldn't hear the lawnmower; she heard me perfectly.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what this has to measure up to, being what 5-6x the price. I mean, maybe in Europe it's 4x, but still, that's a chunk, right? Like, I mean, let's say they last 5 years, you can essentially buy new AirPods every year, like
yes.
the latest version. Will they sound as good? Probably not, but
I think they should make these are so close. They should make the over-the-ear design just like they did with the A8s. Now that the technology is basically there on a miniaturized level, they can stuff everything into the bloody speaker enclosure, the earbud itself, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
at least everybody's happy listening to them on the pictures.
Yeah, which is like actually the thing I do absolutely, and kudos, right? Because we've seen this before. Like B&O's product pictures are sometimes so goddamn horrible because everybody's angry in them, but everybody's kind of like pleasant in this.
Because they made 50 pairs in 21 karat gold. Ah, fuck! I wonder how much those are going to be. So yeah, I guess we are going after the high net worth individuals higher than ever.
I mean, I am seriously considering them, but I mean that price, man. This is the first, I guess, new product where like it's to me prohibitive to straight up go, yeah, let's have them without much thinking.
I guess we're in a different bracket of income. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're in the same way, right? Like, you're not now going like, yeah, it's new, I'm gonna have them.
No, definitely not. Like, I would like to get them, but it's if there's anything that I would really want from B&O at this point, it would be possibly just those earbuds, because I really ran out of things to buy as far as the apartment goes. Right now, I don't really rotate and sell my gear off for buying different things, and I'm not gonna get her the 90s. I really like the 18s. I love the theater. That's the latest edition. What else there is to add, right? Maybe high channels. I don't want to do that in the apartment. Fuck.
No, you're gonna have to like put all the holes back together. And
Yeah, it's a headache, right? With pulling cables and blah blah, taking baseboards off for the 1 more year or 2 more years that I'm going to live here at the most. It isn't worth it. And even here, I don't really. This thing wasn't turned on. It was turned on to play radio when we were cleaning this up. But I still put an S8 subwoofer with it and whatever. Fucking retard, but that's where am I gonna put it? Like I don't have any more places to put it. I have an Avant with a lap 4s and a 19 in the bedroom. I don't need a bigger TV. I can't really afford a bigger TV in there, even if it was a theater, because the room between the bed and the wall, I barely make it without scrubbing the shoulder on the Avant, let alone put another 3 more inches being proud with, some wooden grill that I'll take the lamellas off taking a 3 in the morning piss. So
yeah.
and like, do I need a speaker in the kitchen? I have a BeoSound 1 in the kitchen for fucking what, man? Like I have 90s sitting right beside it. Like we every now and then when me and my girlfriend would turn it on and we just laugh at how bad it sounds compared to whatever else, right? Like, especially when you come from 90s to the BeoSound 1. But it is a driver for the TV, for the Avant in the bedroom, right? As far as the Beo radio and Deezer goes, because the moment it's stuck in its moment and it doesn't have BNO radio, it just has TuneIn, which I don't have in the account anymore. So
Yeah, I mean, just wait until you live bigger, I guess. But like, this is not a
but I don't
product
really
for
want to
living
live
big.
bigger. You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna get another extra bedroom just to stack BNO and Lego in it for fuck's sakes? Like, what else am I gonna do with it?
No, you're gonna get more outside, so you can have a barbecue and grill your ribs.
Yeah, then I need some bollards, I guess, at that point, right?
Yeah, and it'll be a Connect Core, and you can get integrated all nicely, and have your garden lights play along to the music. And
Speaking of BioConnect Core, I don't know if this is in the beta or if this is already out in the software, but I've seen some chatter about it in the
what's on
Discord
Discord?
that you are now able to DPL 2 more speakers into the BioConnect Core.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yes.
Finally.
So essentially, you could have a set of. I'm gonna try that. Get a set of emerges with the Lab 11. I know that Kareem's spinning his eyeballs out, but I don't have any use for the Lab 11. It's sitting in the freaking living room just like a vase. So I might as well plug it in and see how good it works with the core and the 2 emerges just for the shits and giggles. Would it be close to Beolab 3 sound back in the yesteryears of Beolab 4s? I think Lab 3 is more.
I'm gonna have to test this now, because if you can DPL stuff, right, like 2 speakers, does the PowerLink port still work?
It has to.
And if so, I may change out my stage for my 8s and a 19 in the bedroom then.
Yeah.
Good job, V. You're making it hard for me to decide what to do.
What are you gonna do with the stage?
A guest bedroom?
I guess, yeah. See, you have another room to fucking stuff shit into. I don't.
Yeah.
But
or upgrade the missus from an M3 to the stage and just hang it like sideways in her office.
That'd be kind of interesting, but weird.
Well, Henrik did it. It looked kind of cool, and it's still just an audio source at that point, right?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's the new thing that came out software-wise. I'm very keen on trying it out. See what how stable the DPL is.
I mean, similarly in terms of software, that for a smaller company like B&O with anything new like this, that is always the main hurdle, which is survivable if you wait long enough that it's perfect, right? We don't know yet for this. I think Kareem said currently in the store demo, the volume up and down doesn't work, which is sort of like, well,
fudge. Yeah. But you know what? To a seasoned B&O consumer, that's almost unfortunately to be expected from B&O, right?
Oh,
the hardest part is the people that've never heard of it, and all of a sudden, like, you give them this, and they're like, "Why the fuck would I spend $1,800 on this when I can go to Apple and get this?" And it just works
Yeah.
with all of my devices I'm pregnant with is if you're in the Apple environment, because usually people are.
Well,
So
B&O people are especially. Almost
yes.
nobody in B&O has what you call it, an Android phone.
No, I'm probably one of the few anomalies when it comes to that.
Yeah, I mean, according to their own research, it's like 2 out of 10 that has an Android. So it's not nobody, but it's so small, right? Like you're covering 80% of your clientele if you gear stuff towards Apple. I mean, then again, if you're a seasoned B&O purchaser, like this is not a price you would be seasoned with.
No.
Let alone, did you see that you can buy a little leather pouch for the case as is?
That's another $400, isn't it, or some shit?
€400, I think.
Euros. Come on, that's a little too much.
I mean, I don't know, it's maybe Berluti or whatever.
I was gonna say, is it Berluti one or what is this? But yeah, I'm sure these probably are the best earbuds you can buy on the market. I mean, I have to listen to them first, though.
By comparison, right? Like this is more expensive than what I paid for my stage.
True.
Which is in many ways crazy. And I know there's been a heck of a lot of inflation in the meantime, but like, come on, this is more expensive than the Level was when it launched. This is more than what I paid for my Beosound 2.
Indeed.
Not a lot, but it's a little bit more. Yeah, secondhand market, like Max says, you can get Beolab 1s for this money.
Yeah, but you're buying 26-year-old technology at this point. But they're still beautiful speakers, don't get me wrong. But I'm still very intrigued by them. Very, very intrigued by them.
Oh yeah, I'm not outright saying that any of these things are deal breakers to me, right? Like that's not it. But it does make it less of an impulse buy and much more of a consideration.
I never found in B&O any product that would have been an impulse buy, other than like back in the day when they had the coasters or a keychain or a CD stack. But everything like that I had ever bought from B&O was a carefully thought process of integrating into my house, as far as like will it fit, can I run the cables, blah blah blah, this and that, color, right? Which silver is always the answer. But yeah, it's never been an impulse buy. Definitely not when I bought the 90s. I dwelled on that shit for a while, but once I heard them, that was that, right?
I'm thinking now. My A5 was somewhat of an impulse buy. My M3s were kind of an impulse buy. The prices were too good on some of my 17s that I kind of went like, have to have them. Like, figure out what I do with them later.
But not many people that walk through the shop, in my opinion, live in the old prices system, right? They just don't. Like, it's just you go into the B&O store, you expect, there's going to be a fat price tag. Just like if you go to any of the Louis Vuittons and whatever, like you're not buying a $200 fucking purse, right? It's in thousands.
Yeah.
So it's the same with this. It's just, it's a very high-end product. And you pay a high-end price for it. Premium is always a premium.
I mean, I've seen it several times, but I mean, was it LDAC is now removed from the H100 table
Paper,
of content,
yeah.
like coming at end of 2025. It's gone. So I think, as I always said in that review, right, like you wouldn't buy it for that promise. And if there's any of that on this, don't buy it for that promise either. But I do think that is problematic for several reasons, because I mean, you made a promise, right? And if you then don't deliver, similarly to like, there's still not the fluid sweet spot on the 8s, right? It's still not there.
I don't think it'll ever come. I think that just was swept under the carpet of forgiveness and forgetness, or forgetfulness, and that's that. It's just, it's not even on the back burner. It's just off the stove, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah. I mean, but it does, I think, open you up to potential lawsuits or shit like that. Because you do
Yeah.
promise something, right? Like you're paying for the promise partially. I think I've said this last year or the year before, like where I would much prefer like these sorts of things to be a sort of gift where they're internally on the roadmap and you just get them instead of having a promise not delivered.
Hmm.
I mean, in terms of uh, how people view you, where you get all sorts of updates that you never thought you wanted or needed or were on the charts. Like people thank you for it versus when you say they are, but wait for it. People like, sort of give you a grace period and then it's not there.
Hmm. Let's see if I can do this. Let's go here. See if I can. I don't know what version of the app are you on. Oh, let's see if this will work. X.
I can look. I think it's either the last or second to last. I'm on version 7.0.2.
Done. Okay, let's see. Oh no fucking way. Finally, my phone is connected.
Knowledge Seeker says these are probably not the best they can make. Like it's more a state. Well, look, at some point that is true for anybody, right? Because if you have a price point to hit, like that by definition means you could have made it better if you had unlimited price flexibility.
Hmm.
Like they could have made them better if they were thinking like, oh yeah, I can actually charge 10 grand for these. Like they're that good, right? Like I don't know, like take the most expensive Ferrari, right? They could make it better if they could just charge $50 million for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they can use like that double ply carbon that is as strong as like the 8 ply, and that's like Ferrari, like Formula One type shit, right? But you're not paying that, so
I wonder if they're gonna come out. It's gonna be a hard time to see the little horsey on those sticks. That's for sure. Oh, check
yeah.
this out. I finally was able to do this after all these tries. So let's go share screen, I guess. Is this it? Yes. Boom. So now in the app, you can see your speaker presets. Did you see that? That is so cool. They finally returned it back.
Yes.
I wish that the 90s were white, but I'll live with that. But yeah, I like it. New icons and all that. Let's see if we can just. Actually, no, not the kitchen. Let's go to the triangle. I wish you could still organize these, but that's, for another day, I guess. Let's see if I can see the. Okay, so see now there's dots also for
Other
different
speakers.
other speakers, yeah, that you could have. So it is nice. Set preset ID number. That is more or less to do with the 90s, I believe, which are not even included in there. But yeah, so I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go. Where do we go to speaker roles? See, these are still here. I can't remove them. I need to just redo the whole thing. But yeah, these are finally back, the icons.
Yeah, which is good.
And yeah, I'm very happy about that. I wish that they did like in the, let's say the bathroom, like the level, if they did that you could pick the grills, because a lot of people buy different grills. Or I've seen silver with the wood grills. Even we had it on on display in the shop. So that would have been nice if it was
My
done.
listening position looks all weird.
Oh fuck! Does he get too many?
It doesn't know what to do with it all.
Oh, that's funny.
I get 350s and 317s.
That's funny. Just pick some. Fuck, that's hilarious. But yeah, I do like the new improvements in the app, 100%. But
Also, if people want to see that, like, this is essentially the setup.
that's cool that it shows all of it perfect.
Yeah.
That is sweet. That is sweet.
It just doesn't know what to do at the home screen.
It's too many.
It's too much.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stop by. Hopefully Friday is gonna be a little bit calmer at work, so I'm definitely gonna listen to them. I may end up buying them before Christmas. I don't know. It's not that I'm an earphone guy, so the earbuds definitely make sense. Will I use them? Not so much, but I guess for the little bit of time that I do have spent with them, it'll be much worth it. So that's the case, huh?
Yeah, the pouch.
The pouch.
And you can get it in like 3 different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
So cranberry red, I guess.
Yeah, seashell gray
and black.
Yeah, but it's infinite.
Okay, sorry. It looks cute, but for what?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not gonna carry that as a fucking purse, man.
If you want to buy them, though, I do think it's for dealer allocation. Like, you literally have to pre-order because there's not that many to go around. This is, if they meet expectations, right, they're going to be all gone until like January if you don't pre-order.
So, yeah.
So you better text Kareem if you're sure, because then he can get you a pair.
I'm gonna definitely end up with a pair at some point here.
I mean, I must say, like, when I lived in Europe, right, like the over ear, like these, like the cans were, I wore them much more often, but it was also because the weather was a lot milder. Mm-hmm. Here in Florida, this is an indoor thing. It's too hot outside most of the year because it's like you just open the can and it just drips out.
I've done my part of suffering on that in Bahamas doing the podcast. So
yeah,
and in Florida too when I was there 3 years ago. So it's just yeah, the earbuds would be nicer, but to me also, I guess the very important thing is how good are the microphones on them for the phone calls, right? Or for this kind of thing. Because it's been 7 years on the podcast and I still haven't bought a boom mic. So I like my true piano sounding experience for people, I guess, for whatever headphones they have. But I'm hoping that that's not the 100th anniversary product, though. I really do.
Yeah, same. You can't have a speaker company come out with
earbuds for 100th anniversary, man. That's a little bit.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's more in the oven that's baking. Hopefully it's done already baking, but they're finishing the software baking. Because that's usually what kills the B&O experience now, not mechanically, but software-wise.
I mean, the frequency range is kind of mad, though, 10 to 20,000.
That's perfect.
I mean, 20 would be great, but 10 is like... you're going to feel that in your head.
But that's probably why they're also that much. Because I'm sure to develop the drivers to pump 10 hertz at full volume on the earbuds, they have to have some room to move as well.
Well, at any volume, Max, when it's that close to your eardrums, like even at 50 dB, like 10, it's going to feel like, if it's only 10, right, it's going to feel like brown noise or something. You're like, ooh, oh no, I didn't have my morning coffee yet, but it sure feels like it.
But yeah, I don't know. I love the design. That's one thing I have to say. I do love the way they look. 100%. No doubt about that.
I mean, it's another internal design, which, I mean, well done, guys. Like, I mean, you see this a bit more often, I feel, lately with the Beano design team.
I like that they paid the homage to David Lewis's A8.
Yes.
Or actually, it wasn't David Lewis. It was under something. I forget the name, but it wasn't David Lewis that designed the A8s. Speaking of Anders, how you doing?
My real concern, having had many of their headphones, right, is really this coating. Because on just about all of them, other than the E6s, this black coating has started to come off after like 2 years of use.
Oh, really? I haven't had that experience yet.
Like, I've had 2 sets of E8s, and they both have that issue where like this paint just comes off. Like, it's black plastic underneath, so it's not a huge issue.
Yeah.
But it's just, it flakes, right? And every so often, like, it's like, oh, okay, and then there's some black shit in your ear shell. But at this sort of price, that can't happen. Like, they need to be, if you don't abuse them, they need to be essentially be pristine after 3 years.
Yes.
And I just, I mean, maybe my ears are toxic, or I don't know. Who knows? But that's one of the things you can't, like, long-term, short-term test on, right? At least not.
Maybe it's the pH acidity in the sweat or something.
Something like that.
Like it has to be something like that. Anders already ordered them.
Yeah.
Right on. They would also look cool in like black anthracite or piano black.
Yes, for sure. They have a good warranty, Max. It's 3 years, and I think if you sign up for whatever it is, then you get an extra 2. So at the minimum, it's 3.
So Anders, you've heard them. Sound is insane, he says.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost cohabitates with his dealer like I used to.
Nice. Have a sleepover every odd Saturday.
One of the things I'm not the hugest fan of noise cancelling. I really wonder how long the battery lasts if you don't use it. Or is it like sort of always on? Like there's a minimum of it being on?
I wonder if you have it in natural mode. Like, I don't think it compensates for anything. It just plays like analog/digital headphones would. Anders Hermansen, that's right. There you go, G-Man. Thank you very much. That was the guy that designed the A8s.
Yeah.
I remember it was Anders, but I just didn't remember his last name.
Yeah, charging for 5 minutes gives you approximately 2.5 hours of playback. That is amazing.
Well, essentially, if they die in your airplane and you just put them in the case while you go to take a whiz and come back, then you should have another hour at least, or 45 minutes of listening time, even with those few minutes that you leave them going.
I mean, 2.5 hours is on 5 minutes. That battery must be small, or the charge
100%.
must be ridiculous,
or the chip efficiency is insane.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
I mean, let's see. What are people thinking? It's pretty even across the board, actually. It's like the majority still thinks like the price is insane. The other 30% sort of says it's too high for me, but like that's sort of expected, right? Where they're going with their pricing position.
Yeah.
It's high, but considering I'm getting them is a good third at least.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting at. So I do love the design. That's just, I have to, no matter how many times I've repeated it, but I do love the design. And to me, that's more or less A. the presentation of them, but the sound quality. If Andrew's saying that they're sick, Kareem's saying they're sick, I have to listen to them myself to, I guess, make the judgment. But I'm definitely looking forward to testing them out. But yeah, if like Andrew said, the price is not too high for the sound that they have. Battery in Grace is 45 milliamp hours. 111 is 70. So significantly smaller, but relatively seen. Okay, battery life, yeah. So
yeah. I mean, codecs are kind of standard. I did not know until somebody up further up the chat said, like, why don't they have Bluetooth 6.0? I don't know. I'm guessing it when they were developing it and finalizing it, it wasn't there yet, because there is a lead time for this stuff.
yeah.
But 6.0 would have essentially have the sort of LDAC quality, but yeah, it's not upgradable. But personally, I don't think I've ever really noticed, because Bluetooth is like many other things backwards compatible until the hilt, right? It's like to me, it's fine. I don't think many B&O customers, especially in this sort of price bracket, are really aware of what changes in Bluetooth standards. I wasn't, so.
Yeah, but if you have Bluetooth 6.0, I have Samsung Galaxy Ultra 24 or S24 Ultra, right? So I don't have that codec. I don't have that Bluetooth 6.0 in it 100%.
Yeah.
It's now a 3-year-old phone almost.
Yeah, I have an iPhone 16. I don't even think that has it.
So
I could be wrong, right? But I don't like it's so I don't know.
But that's chasing those dragons, right? Like it's just that never ends. But I guess that's the whole market of the technology and advancement. That you're always one version behind in something, you like it or not. It's just the fact of life.
My favorite, Siri and Google can be added in the B&O app. Oh, please don't. You're gonna have this AI talking into your head and like counter signaling you with that 10 hertz capability.
Max's 5.3 is also what the new AirPods have. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. What I have, maybe this is a feeling and slightly anecdotal. I always have a feeling that the B&O mics, like the actual mics, have been better than the Apple mics. It's just Apple surpasses them in software quality and how to use them.
Well, they have way more manpower to do it.
Yeah, we're also talking.
But isn't the processing done on board of the phone for Apple headphones, the noise cancel?
Yeah, but it's a conjunction of two things, right? Like they know exactly what they made in their headphones and how their chip interacts with it and all. I mean, the noise canceling for sure is done on the phone, not on the headphones. I just hope that whatever B&O does, that at least is an extreme close approximation to the quality of the AirPod microphones.
Yeah. But they have to do it all internally. They don't have this big ass processor sitting in the phone doing it for them, right?
Yeah. I mean,
so there is a big difference.
The thing is, right, like my experience, like I've only like do this with you with portals, and the portals have always been good.
I have no problems with it.
We did that mic test, God, a long time ago.
Oh man, that was like 200 episodes ago almost.
Yeah, and the H95s at the time were
the cat's ass. Is this too much light?
Well, from memory, the mic on what was it? Was it the E8 3.0 was better than the H95s at the time, and the portals were the absolute best?
Yes.
I mean, if I use because I'm almost never on the receiving end, right? Like if I call my sister, and if I use these, I'm good. If I use my AirPods, I'm good. If I use my E8s, she's like, "You're quiet." If I use my E6s, it's like, "Where the hell are you? I can't hear a thing." I mean, the H100s are fine, but I would say they're in terms of mic quality, they're sort of comparable to Portals. They're not any better necessarily for the receiver, as far as I'm told.
Yeah, I think the Portals have the best mic out of all the headphones for now, but I haven't tried. Like we've done the H95, H100s. We've done a podcast with those.
Yeah,
and they sound good. But I'm very intrigued about how they sound, how the Grace or Beo Grace sounds on the mic.
yeah. I mean, you called me with H100s once, I think, and that sounded pretty good.
Yes, yeah, they sounded really good.
It's yeah. I mean, on a more philosophical level, I sometimes wonder why B&O is in this game of like wearables and stuff like that.
I think they somewhat have to be.
Is Focal doing in-ear buds?
I don't think so. I don't know. I honestly don't follow that brand enough to fucking know that. But B&O has had headphones since the U70s, right? Like they were in that game no matter what in the beginning. The Form 2s, the Form 1s, I guess. The A8s that came out in 2000, and then Form 2Is, Earset 2s, Earset 2Is, and then we became the Beoplay earbuds game, right?
Yeah.
But no, that's from as far as I can remember, they were always in the headphone game, not necessarily in like the super competition of it, but they had that market portion poorly covered, but they did still have it covered in a way. Where now it's a different ball game, right? They go for the super high end. I think that these Beo Grace would compete on a sound quality level with definitely like one of the top performing Sennheiser headphones or earbuds. I mean,
yeah, probably.
If you compare it to that, right? And Sennheiser has a $10,000 set of headphones, right? With their own mechanized fucking tubes come out of this aluminum shell and blah blah fucking blah blah. Nobody's
I
bitching
think it's
about that.
granite actually, the like out of a granite shell.
Or that too, yeah. I don't know. I've seen the video, and it's like, yeah, there are $10,000 for a set of earphones, right? That you can't really take anywhere but on the chair in the house because they got a fucking amp with them. So to each their own. It's the same thing. Like if you compare the '90s to anything third party, I think it's the same that goes to all these technologies that B&O developed themselves. They harvesting it themselves and putting them into the. Yes, it costs probably arm and a leg to develop it. I don't think the production cost is that high, but the benefit is that you're paying for that research and development, right?
Yeah, that's another thing where people complain about. Look, I understand it on a platonic level, right? But for anybody that says like, oh, it's X number of dollars in parts, why are they selling it for whatever they're selling it for wherever you are, right?
Well, how many X number of dollars they spent to figure out that these are the parts to begin with?
Yeah, exactly. Like, have you ever tried to make anything and sell it, right? Like that, the amount of time you're sinking into that is insane.
The resources, like that cube room, whatever, not the anechoic chamber cube that they have, but the one that have the globe with all these headphone the speakers on them, right? Like that's not cheap to set up. Not just we're not talking just buying speakers, but having this properly piped into a computer that can simulate all these different noises from different directions and blah blah blah. Even that had to be R&D by them in order to get that to the level that we can now replicate any fucking thing in the world that's happening around you wearing these buds or headphones or whatever. Now we're going to start tuning that. How many hours of that is spent in that little bowl, right?
Yeah, you have to make it back somehow.
So,
I mean, also people, I've seen them talk about profit margins and that sort of thing, but it's like B&O's profit margins aren't insane compared to like, I don't know, tool companies or something like that.
Oh, 100%.
Like
And
our
everybody
favorite
buys a
brand,
drill.
Milwaukee Tool, right, has a similar profit margin.
Yes. Yeah, they got a lot of room to swing around as well.
Yeah, if not a bit more actually on
And
like
most of
tools.
it, if not all of it, is built in China.
Hey, look, that doesn't mean it's bad anymore.
No, obviously not. Definitely not. It's just, I guess, the tariffs thing would be one thing that fucks with it. But I don't believe the Chinese manufacturing processes are bad necessarily. It's just you pay for a certain spec of quality. It's the same thing like if you're building a home in North America, you can build a shack or you can build a mansion. It's just how much money are you willing to spend on time and labor and materials.
Yeah.
That's just the only thing. That's it.
I mean, I think the only real issue with like making these days anything in China is quality control, because
Yes.
they can be a bit dodgy, right? You can't pay for certain standards, and they sort of.
Well, but Rolex had a pretty good quality control in China. If you think about it, all their watches were made there for how many decades?
Oh, it is doable, right? Like,
it's just how you police it and how much you pay
yeah.
for that policing and design and blah blah blah. iPhones that are made in goddamn China. I don't think anymore. I think Foxconn completely moved out from what I was looking at. I found this. I follow this channel, China Observer, and it's two guys that actually lived in China for decades, and now they're basically doing the WeChat and all that banned stuff that commies fucking filter out. But they still find a crack in the commie HEPA filter and bring out the news. So yeah, it's interesting, but all in all, it's it's the same thing. It's just if you pay for what you get for what you pay for, no matter what part of the market it is, and that's just what it is too. It's B&O installers. You can hire fucking guys from Best Buy, or have your neighbor that is an electrician to help you hang the theater. You can have the professionals that are doing this every day to do it for you, right? And outcomes are two different things. So
I agree with Max, the absolute legend.
oh yeah, thanks for the support, bud.
He says, "Don't tell me the H100 headphones are the Grace. Is it Graces or is it still Grace plural? Anyway,
Grace I
are the 100th anniversary product. Surely there's something coming, better coming. Give us something juicy." I agree, Max, the absolute legend. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, no, Kareem, you're right. How many companies do have 3 years? It's the solid product. I'm not saying it's not. And I don't think that. I think that whole perception, yes, it's shifting. Not everything's shit that's made in China, and whatever shit that's made in China because it's dumped by cheap companies that make it look like that. So
yeah, or it has like this one of these ridiculous names, right?
So
where it's like it's clearly a knockoff of something, right? I mean, there's a reason a lot of like actual cheap, even American brands are having their stuff made elsewhere, right? It's because China became too expensive. Like they're too good at certain stuff now.
Yeah, but why? Because they're the ones that perfected the technologies and machinery to do it. It's just like Taiwan is the place where all the chips are made, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, they're unavoidable at this point. Look, if we're going to say made in China is bad, right? Is made in Taiwan bad? Because Taiwan is just a different name for China.
Right.
Like, and we still consider that to be the same country. So, like, I don't necessarily get the comment anymore of like it's made in China. It's like, yeah. So it's technically like Taiwan, China. It's every processor in the world.
Yeah. And like Kareem says, the biggest issue is the BLF19. Most of the current batches have mega software issues. We had 6 units back to back. So, and I've seen that with the 19s that they just turn it on, goes orange or red. That's the only light you get. That's it.
And there's no way to update it to proper software, or is it just corrupted or something?
it's something's messed in it. And quite honestly, like it's easier for us to RA it than to have a technician spend hours on end fucking ordering boards, waiting a few weeks for a board to come in and opening it. No, man. This should work out of the box. Send it back. That's it. But yeah, there is quality control issues in everything nowadays, I think. And it only takes one bad batch of boards that they just put into, I don't know, maybe 200-300 Lab 19s, and boom, you have a global issue at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, I also understand, like, if you try to software update it, then you have to consider that you absolutely cannot lose power or brownouts or that sort of nonsense, right? Because then you're just going to brick the EEPROM or whatever it is.
Yes, happened to me before.
And that's going to be a real feels bad, man.
Yeah, because then you're fucked. You got to send the board back or get a new board, and it's just a headache, man. It's a headache you don't want to be pregnant with. And yeah, like for the out of the box, brand new, doesn't work, send it back. RA, that's it. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, but you guys are going to pay for the cost of shipping it back, and hopefully learn the lesson. But
I mean, it's just the cost of business, right? Like, this is all this sort of stuff you have to sort of keep in mind when you like nobody can live off a 10% profit margin or 10% margin. Like, that's, you're going to have to sell millions of things, and B&O is just not capable of selling millions of things.
No.
There aren't millions of customers.
I guess to the point of who was in there, Knowledge Seeker, the 28th. I think the 28 sales will now inevitably have to improve based on the given that the 18s are more or less out of portfolio or slowly out the door in a way. I think the silver ones are still available, but so now they're going to start selling. I hope that B&O comes up with a replacement for the 18s in a sense. I don't know how, or it's going to be another Mozart driven platform. I'm certain of it, but I don't know. I think the 28s are not where there could be, in my opinion, acoustically.
Well, the real challenge beyond acoustics to me for 28s is if within the absence of 18s pretty quickly, right? Like, is the design captivating enough to replace those sales?
Mm-hmm.
Because like the people that went over 18s over 28s, it was mostly an aesthetic thing, right?
Yes.
So
I still find 18s more aesthetically pleasing than the 28s in my eyes. Maybe because I'm just used to the 18s so much. I could care less for the mechanized movement of the curtains, for the sake of the sound. But then again,
it is cool.
It is definitely cool, but in my purpose of living, these would be only in the rear channels as the to the 90s, which I would never really see. Right? I should probably put this door stop in here. I have the window open, door slamming shit. So that's the catch 22, I guess, or catch 28 with the lap 28s. It's just I guess if you get a theater with two pairs of 28s, you'll never know the better. If you just drive them through the 28 through the theater, because then, like, we've had the issue with the room compensation and 28s and 8s sounding different on their own versus sounding different with the theater and the room comp on and everything else, right? That you have to make a listening position or preset with a direct mode sound and so on, and turn off or delete the room comp from the theater for them to sound the way that they sound by themselves stereo paired. So that's the only disconnect that I don't like with B&O that they have. It is getting windy here, like real windy. But other than that, having two different worlds of sound. If you have the 28s at the theater, it's kind of funky and weird.
Let's see. I'm not sure I can repeat that.
No, we'll leave that in the chat, Karim. We'll leave that in yeah, no, it's secret. The main issue is the bass, and anything over 65, I think it just in volume, I guess, it starts to fall off on the 28s. That's 100%. Now, if you have them with the theater, then normally what I like to do is if you do a stereo speaker preset for the 28s, if you want to listen to them in their native sound, then delete all the room comp. But I would still assign the theater act as a center sub because it really helps. If it's on their own, then they're just on their own. I guess you can always add another 7G's worth of Canadian cost, I guess, or whatever it is in US, where you buy a 19 and a core connect to run them, with a subwoofer out, and now you can DPL, I guess, the 228s together with it, so it would work better. I wonder what it would show up on the app. Would it show the power link as a subwoofer, or would it show the 28s as a DPL?
I don't know. Maybe it shows all three. There is,
or maybe it shows all three.
Yeah.
But 28s do sound the best on a concrete-based floor. I will attest to that. No matter what, the wood flooring does tend to breathe a lot with the downward firing bass. That's the same issue that the Beolab 5s used to suffer, especially in North America. It's a little different, I guess, in Europe.
Yeah.
But they definitely have the concrete just carries that bass much better. Hard floors carry that much better.
I mean, one of the things to me, right, is I don't dislike the 28s. They have a very new sound. So, like, when you mix it with older stuff, it sounds a bit different. But on their own, they sound quite good. I kind of like them. That's partially why I bought them at the time. It's just that if you start adding a 19, you're sort of undoing most of the purchase. Like 18s and the 19 get you there 99% of the same way.
Yes.
It's less directed, like it's less narrow, but I like the wide sound modes anyway. So to me, that's a personal preference. Similarly, like when I had them on a harmony where it's not all compensated for each other as each other, like the 28s sound really strange with 50s. Not bad. It just has a different sound profile, and it's really, really noticeable. This is how I came to be with like 17s and 50s, right?
Yeah.
It's I also do think, like, as a general out from factory, even with like internal room compensation, the bass is too hot. Like you do -1, -2 on the bass, but it also gives you a bit more extension in volume range.
Yes. Yeah, I do find them a little bit too boomy out of the box, even when the room comp runs and whatever. Like, it's still a little bit too juicy.
Yeah, I mean, when you do -2 on the bass, I think Steve had the same experience. Then you can go to like 72, 74 maybe on the volume before ABL starts kicking in.
Yeah.
Which is a heck of a lot louder for the mids and highs. I mean, if you listen at that sort of level for any prolonged, like either your room is too big for the speakers you bought, right? If it's not loud enough, or you're just a bit silly.
Yeah, I used to remember those days.
It's unpleasant at that point.
Depends what bourbon you're drinking.
Well, sure, if you're fully medicated on bourbon or morphine or whatever, right? Like you'll be okay because nothing hurts anymore.
With every 2 glasses, you lose a few dBs in tolerance or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, your feelings don't hurt, your ears don't hurt anymore.
But yeah, the 90s do sound a bit different with the theater than they did sound with Avant back in the day, I guess. They sound better, definitely, but I did play with the room comp on both ends and to play with it for extensive time to get the proper sound, because it's either
Yeah.
way too much bass or way too little. So yeah, finding the middle sometimes takes a little bit of finicking around, which hasn't been around like that for B&O ever that I remember of. But
I
that's
mean,
just more features and more options that are now there.
in terms of product segmentation, the real sort of weird own goal is just they kind of made the 8s too good compared to 28s, right? Like,
8s are a very big competition to the 28s, and in my opinion, the cost offset, like I would rather end up with 2 pairs of 8s than one pair of 28s.
yeah, same.
You know, and
I
either
mean,
stereo pair them, have 2 rooms of stereo with very good sound, or it depends on what you have as a pre-existing B&O system. You can add them. You can add them to the Avant. Just set them to the Beolab 17s if you get them as WISA.
yeah. I mean, the price delta between 8s and 28s is pretty huge, but the performance delta isn't. Like the 8s are almost too good. I also think that since the bass is forward firing, it's a bit more balanced.
Yes.
So it's sort of a weird own goal, but I don't know. Sell all the 8s if you can. Like, they're fantastic little speakers.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to get really loud, yeah, add a subwoofer. But I don't think in most rooms that it's really all that needed.
It picks up quite a bit on the bottom end. Like, it definitely makes it feel better.
I mean, when I had 18s with the BeoConnect core in my bedroom, I had no clue that the 18s could produce that much bass. I had the 8s in there for a bit, and it's like, this is even more, right? Like, it's to the point where in my bedroom is what, like 4 by 4.5 meters or something, or 4.5 by 5, something like that. It's not small, but it's also not huge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is enough for this room. Like, unless I really want to like vibrate in my bed whenever I'm watching a film, but I kind of don't. It's like more for like, oh, I'm lazy, I may fall asleep.
Yeah. No, when I first heard the 18s on the BeoConnect core, even the 5s, it's a different speaker performance completely almost. It's
Yeah.
insane how much better that sounds. So
yeah, I mean, 8s are fantastic.
I don't know of any talks, if there are any talks. If there are talks, hopefully they come up with something. I think that what Karim would hope for is something along the lines of a Beolab 20 in a newer format.
Yeah, but there's the 28, isn't it?
I don't think the 28 can be compared to a 20 as far as the performance goes. The drivers are bigger on the 20s as far as the bass. It's got way more bass performance than the 28s. Plus, the acoustic lens makes it sound so much more natural. But we're away from the acoustic lenses now. I think that we are now replacing that software-wise and algorithmically than doing it with a tweeter shooting upwards into a lens.
I mean, I'm still on the Euro side, but let's. So it's almost 10 grand between the 8s and 28s, which is pretty sizable. I mean, there's what, 48 between the 28s and 50s, but then you get a 100+ grand difference between 50s and 90s.
Yes.
I would almost say if they need to put something between something, it's between 50s and 90s. Like, come on, that jump is maddening.
Yeah, but what would you do? Like, would you make a smaller 90 or?
Yeah, I don't know. But they kind of shot themselves in the foot there in terms of pricing, right? Like mean, they're already close enough in terms of performance that the gap is not enormous enough to easily slot something in.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, the gap between 28s and 50s is kind of large.
Yeah, but I think that well, the 90s are in their own realm. I think personally, like if they were to come up with anything, I think between 28s and 50s would be the most logical place to go.
Yeah,
because 90s are a different planet at this point of time, price wise and altogether. But if they went with something
even more so than the 90s, I think they kind of went a bit mental with the price on 50s and how quickly they rose by comparison. Because this sort of weirdly kept pace with the price rise of 90s. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I speak for a lot of people, right? Like the 50s were very much more attainable, but now they're just unobtainium, essentially.
Yeah.
Equally to 90s, right? Like 90s, you could still purchase if you had some disposable income or disposable savings. It was crazy, but not like, holy shit, that's mental, right? But they kind of are there. They maybe deserve to be there, but I'm not entirely sure 50s deserve to be, especially in the US, right? Like this is more than most cars. Because in the US, they're like, what, like 80 grand or something USD. Yeah, they start at 80,900 USD. Like, that's not just that is like more than most BMWs even here, right? And it didn't used to be that. I mean, I'm not talking like M3s or M4s, but like, I don't know, like a 540i or something like that, you can buy for less than that, and it used to be a bit more palatable. I mean, would you also not think that if the differential was even larger between the two, you would sell a heck of a lot more 50s?
I think so. I think 50s shouldn't be. I think they should be capped off as far as the price increasing goes. I think they're at the fair point where like a little more, and is it really worth it, right? But again, people that walk into the store normally, they just they don't really do their research on pricing and what it used to be. It's us nerding out here. It's people that walk in there, they just buy it. If that's what they have money and budget for, they just go for it. If not, they go with something else. But
oh no, I understand, right? But like the prices as is, like this is 90 grand now, like in the US.
Yes,
like that is serious money. That is a 20% down payment on a 400 grand house, right? Which is quite a lot in the US. And I know, I guess B&O doesn't really want these people as their customers, but for a lot of people, you don't necessarily save that in 2 years.
No, you don't.
But I mean, also, if you were walking in, right, like get the flagship, and if this was, I don't know, I'm not saying it should be a lot cheap, but if it was, I don't know, 65 compared to what the 90s are now, like it would be a much easier, like, oh, I can live with this a bit easier.
But I almost think that they raised the 50s in order to sell or justify the sale of 90s as well.
Yeah.
In some weird sense. So,
I mean, all I can tell from this is that the 8s are extremely sharply priced for what they do.
Hmm. No, it's a great speaker. 100%. 100%. There is nothing bad about them at all. I like the build. You can also change the colors easier than anything else compared to the older speakers.
Yeah, it's a sort of Lego speaker. You can change just
Hmm.
about everything about it.
Yeah, it's very modular, so that's cool about it, right? Like you can have a black anthracite top ring and silver sides and cranberry red grills and golden plate to the table stand if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you can even do that without going to the atelier or whatever. You can just order the spare parts, right? Like if you want, I don't know, silver and silver, you can just buy this shell in anthracite or gold or whatever. I mean, your dealer will sell you this shell, no problem, and it just sort of it sort of pops off with just a little bending, and then
yeah, there's two rubber grommets on each side, or I think one, and one on the bottom that just pops off. They're very modular. I like them. I like them a lot. Very easy to service, which, I never had the honor and privilege yet, but, it also attests to the mechanical or PCB board built on them. So far, so good. They're very solid. They're a very solid speaker.
I mean, people in chat, if you have any questions, let them fly. We're here now.
Yep. But yeah, I guess I don't know if you heard of it. Genesis has struck a deal with B&O. $20 million worth of B&O equipment will be installed in dealerships throughout the Genesis dealers.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah,
Because
a
I
lot
did
of
hear they were
28s and
getting
theaters.
the B&O stuff in their cars, the audio equipment.
Yeah, B&O has. Yeah, there is B&O sound systems in Genesis. Even the one that Stefan bought a while back, it's got B&O sound system in it.
Yeah, I mean, Genesis cars have, quite
Gone
honestly, they've become
far.
quite nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're, I wouldn't say cheap, but they're, for what they are, they're like affordable, right? Like for the same sort of market segment. So,
So yeah, the dealerships now have 28s in theaters, pretty much. Like I've seen one video where yeah, every column on the dealership walls between the glass, there's a 28 and I think an anthracite or gold, whatever. They all play together. Very cool. Very, very cool.
let's see. I mean, sadder news is that, let's see, is there. Yeah, here. Sorry, before we get to this. There is a, what you call it, a press release for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe it's very American looking, but it is, I think, a decent looking car.
It is.
I mean, it's very its own thing. It's not, how would you say? It's not very German looking, to put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Scroll down, see what there is. Also, they do have tweeters too. That's awesome.
God, I love that. I miss when they stopped doing that in a lot of the models.
Yeah.
Because one of the coolest things ever was in the beginning, in like the Audis and whatnot, those tweeters popping up.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's like a full-on fucking limousine AH type of thing.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like the speaker grills. They look like the P2s.
Mr. Potato Fry says Genesis are so nice and very competitively priced. Yeah, that's what I tried to say. I kind of stumbled through that, I guess.
But yeah, no, that's cool. See the Bang & Olufsen, the little P2 speaker design. I like it.
At least you don't have to replace batteries on this P2.
That's it. Let's see here.
Oh, yeah, you more or less get the mood wheel as well. If this continues, I may actually have to look at Genesis seriously now, because we still only have one car.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of because it's not needed, but at times it would be nice. But if they're gonna come with stuff like this, like I may have to just buy a car because it has pop-out tweeters, right?
Yeah. I wonder if I can. How did I do that? Sure.
Can you room calibrate in your car? I think so, actually. I think with the more modern DSPs and stuff, it can actually compensate for how many people are in the car. Because like the mass inside a small cavity makes a difference to how you perceive the sound.
How did I do this with my phone? Oh, now there's all the messages, all the apps are here. Okay, let's see if I can go here. Let's see. I think, yeah. Where are you?
I might actually have to. I mean, what is it? It's the SUV that Stefan has. I liked that car. It's a very nice, pleasant car.
Yeah. Let's see. How can I mirror the screen? I had this going, for God's sakes. Why am I such a boomer?
I can
No. This is with the open phone. There we go. What if I do this?
Technology.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I am very close to this. There. Okay, I'll pause that. You might have to mute the sound out of it.
I'm not sure if I can or not, but we'll see.
Share screen. Share.
It works. Well, we're not monetized in here, so it's fine. So buy Willie a coffee. Oh, that's nice.
So that's courtesy of Kareem.
Sweet.
So that's I guess you got the customer hangout area with the theater in there. I think they mounted a little too high in my liking, but it is. I think it's the honey tone as well. Like it's Atelier.
Yeah. I like that honey tone. That's a sweet
It is.
color.
It's very nice looking color for sure. So it's just a maze of doors and rooms, but I guess there is something in the bathrooms as well. Oh,
Ooh.
very nice. Ooh, celestial.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's in I guess in the Genesis dealers now. Emerges on the desks. Very nice.
Halos.
Halos for control, yeah.
It's actually a really nice dealership. Holy shit.
Yeah. Let's see what else they have. This is going somewhere upstairs. I haven't really seen the whole video, but nice.
In the shape of the grill as well. Nice.
Yeah. It looks cool. So that's the offices area, I guess.
It's very modern. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of modern contemporary. I like the colors as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
So there is that.
A B&O showroom with cars.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like the fact that they have to get their word out, and especially in North America, it's very few people that know of B&O, and the ones that do know of B&O predominantly come from automotive industry, like not industry, but from automotive side, like Audi and BMW in the back in yesteryears. I think they still have a couple models.
Ford
Aston,
F-150s, funnily enough, they have
Aston
Beoplay in it.
Martin, yeah, and then Ford F-150. I think a Charger and Focus or whatever has the Beoplay system in it.
Yeah,
So it's funny because everybody was kind of mad about the fact that they struck or BNO struck a deal with the Harman. But in my opinion, it was the greatest idea ever. I think push that stuff into more and more um, vehicles as well. Because at the end of the day, like for a fan like myself, I always look at the car that has a B&O sound system as well in it. That's just my one of the like I base myself on acoustics in the car, and quite honestly, when you drive, you only do three things, one at a time or two at a time. You either listen to music, sing along, or you talk, or you have everything quiet and you think.
the only thing I'm slightly mad at, but it's probably more Harman than B&O, is that like in the Bentleys and whatnot, it's the B&O system is a mid-tier.
Mm,
Like because you have the Focal and the Meridian above it, but I think that comes more from Harman than it does from B&O.
probably.
But in terms of automotive, like this is a great way to just keep on making money, right? And not having, I mean, you're interested, but it's not your main focus, because when they started, they really did it themselves,
Hmm.
which is a mental thing to do if you want to do it at scale. So it's kind of good they made that deal with Harman in that sense.
I agree.
I mean, it brings them what, at least from memory, like at least 20 million a year, which is like they can use that money.
Yeah, and I hope they put them in more and more cars. I hope Porsche is one of them that actually gets their B&O sound system in them, not just the Bose. Like, yes, I understand you should listen to the engine, but dude, there are highways that you take and you're just stuck in 3,000 RPMs or whatever on it. Like, that's not the engine I want to hear.
No. Look,
So,
if you do the trip I just did, right? Like this is another thing, right? Like where like Europe, I don't think understands. I get on the highway here when I drove to Wisconsin,
mhm.
and it goes left, right, go right at the first left, and then once I'm on the highway, it literally says take the next left in 550 kilometers.
You're through fucking two countries for God's sakes.
Yes.
Back in Europe, like immediately, not even.
Yeah, and that's like you take a bypass for like 120 kilometers to get back on the same road for another 220 kilometers.
Dude, it takes 26 hours to drive through Ontario province here. 26 hours, man. That's a lot of driving. And the problem is it's a one lane highway with a 90 kilometers per hour speed limit.
Yeah, speed limits here are kind of more suggestions than anything else, but
No, they fish for it in here in Canada. There's so many cops, especially in Ontario. Jesus, okay. So
I mean, even so, right? Like, I love Porsches. Don't get me wrong, but they're the wrong car for such a long distance to drive in, and that long distance is not that crazy here in North America.
no, it's definitely not something that. Yeah, I'm not alien to it. That's for sure. Everywhere we go, it's what anywhere you want to go. Really, you want to go to Montreal. I mean, Toronto. That's 7 hours or 5 hours, I believe, away.
Yeah.
5 hours.
I mean, I went to a friend in Miami for dinner, right? What was it? I left at 2 in the afternoon, and I was back at like 2:30 a.m. because it's 9 hours of driving total, like 4.5 there, and 4 back.
Yeah. And what do you do in that time? You listen to music or podcasts or whatever. But that's where it pays off to have a good sound system in the car.
Yeah, and also America being America, the roads are goddamn straight. Like there's no turns or anything, right? Like it's sort of like your biggest turn is sort of.
Europeans will never have the understanding of it until they come here.
Yeah, drive
I
anywhere.
was never able to imagine that. Like when my cousin was describing me to it, how Canada is and blah blah blah. till I finally moved here, 27 odd years ago. And now I realized, when I first came, like, holy fuck, just to go to the movie theater, it's a half an hour drive. Like, that didn't exist where I was from,
For you Germans out there, you probably think, oh, our Autobahn is straight for a long time, right?
No,
No,
it's
not
not.
really.
No, it's
It's
not.
more fun to drive than the highways here.
Yeah, here, if you go through Saskatchewan, which I think it's the most dangerous time to drive through that province in the winter because it's absolutely flat. Like, if you have doubts that the earth is flat, go to Saskatchewan, bro. You can see your dog run away for 3 days, for God's sakes. It's just flat as fuck. And the problem is with the snow drifts and all that, like, you lose the track of the road because it's all flat, So all of a sudden you're poof and you're a meter deep in the snowbank, you're off the road. Very dangerous to drive in the winter. And then you have the other extreme of it, where if you go to British Columbia and it's you're 3,000-4,000 meters up above the sky or up above the ocean, and the weather can turn on a dime or a penny, I guess, at that point. And yeah, it's the shit. Me and Nicholas one evening we found out that when that orange big sign is flashing that says when the ambers are flashing, severe or extreme winter conditions ahead. Oh, that sign, when it's on, it's no bullshit about the winter conditions.
Yeah.
Don't ignore. Don't ignore. And yeah, we went from merit to hope, which once we get to hope, I finally understood why all that city was called that way, because fuck, you only get there with hope, I swear to God. But yeah, Europe is completely different animal when it comes to driving. Roads are narrow where everything is tighter, and yeah, you don't have, maybe in Russia somewhere you have long stretches of straight road, but not here in North America. You drive forever and ever, amen.
Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and do that, yo?
So it seems mostly for the Beo Grace the price of going over $1,000, according to our audience anyway. Because I just asked the community, like, if it was 750 to €1,000, would you then buy them? And the majority is either seriously considering or a yes, like 60%.
But I also wonder if with that poll, say that everybody that had voted in any shape or form, would they have voted differently had they listened to those headphones or earbuds?
We'll
Or
see
had
in
a
a few.
chance to hear them? You know what I mean? Because now
Yeah.
we're judging based on the book that we haven't opened, just by the cover, essentially.
I guess, but that's currently where we are, right? Because like around here, it's not a lot of dealers I can go to just have a listen. I mean, the closest is what, Miami, maybe Orlando, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So currently, all we have is price. I mean, and if you can't afford it, right? Like if you can afford $1,000 but not 1,500, then even if it sounds good, like, because we both know, like, give or take 6 months from now, they're not going to be this price anymore.
No. And that's why I want to get them. I do want to get them. And more or less than anything, it's just for the sake of the nostalgia that I always wanted A8's earbuds type kind of thing looking. And now we're here. Yes, they're astronomically different in price compared to the, 27, 26 years ago, I guess, when the A8s came out. But I still like them. I wish that they come up with something that is over the ear, just like the A8s were. I think it's more stable on your ear that way and less risk of you dropping it out of your ear. Especially, I guess, I don't know. I don't think I would take these, like, let's say, downhill biking, right?
No.
Rattle that shit out of my ear somewhere, bombing it, and then you start trying to look for it after. No, forget it.
This is what I nearly was starting, but I almost forgot about it again. Apparently, Oralic is throwing in the towel, like they're quitting.
Really?
Yeah, which is really kind of sad because they were very highly rated for like their DACs and streamers and whatnot.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of, I mean, they were very high end, and it's sad. I mean, it's partially the tariff war, but it's also like internal things, supposedly. I mean, speak about things made in China, right? Like this was very highly regarded by everybody.
Yes. Was it due to marketing, you think?
No, I think they actually like the guy actually was like obsessive about being the best. And then at a price point where like to like I don't know, if you're
Stay
a
competitive.
casual, if you're casual, it's like holy shit. But if you know what you're looking at, it's sort of like, wait, what? This is great.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it's just it's sort of, I don't know how to, it's sort of it sort of proves why B&O has to go the way it goes, I think. Because
Meaning
like
price-wise?
Yeah, because I mean, to stay alive as a small high-end company, right? It's not easy.
No.
I mean, B&O isn't exactly
well, they don't push out that many products either a year, if you think about it. You know, there's 2 or 3 a year at the most.
Yes. I mean, occasionally they do more, but like I mean, they're also shooting themselves in the foot, right? Like if you get
with the longevity,
yeah. If you have 10 new products every year, like you're gonna have to maintain so much.
Software-wise specifically, because you have to maintain the updates on everything. But I like the fact that, you know, like they unified everything on a Mozart platform. So if you bug fix, I think, one side of it, it globally implements to most of the products, which then might subsequently create another bug somewhere else. But it's still easier to service, I guess, from the software standpoint.
Yes.
I do like the new app. I like the redesign, even though like mechanically you don't really see any difference between the old UI and new UI. It's just more fluent, and faster. And I've never had issues so far connecting to anything. Nothing appears offline. You know, like the theater, it's playing and it's offline on your app. None of that exists anymore. So kudos to the development team doing what they're doing with the app. And, you know, I don't play with it much. I do use the remote. I wish that the remote control was changed back to the old platform with the buttons colored and everything else. So you do have a puck control per se if needed, right?
Yes.
But I still every now I catch myself using, even on the Avant, I still use the goofy remote with the app. I know it's sacrilege, but sometimes you just leave the goddamn remote on the
I quite often forget the
stand.
remote inside and sit outside, right? And I just like through the window with my phone. It's like,
yeah, it just works. I wish there was a little bit more control over it, but it works. I tend to use more BLI than I use the B&O app itself for controlling in my environment in the house, because the lights and everything is tied into it and integrated. So that makes it a little bit nicer.
One of the things I still, to this day, like, B&O, please, like, why can't we get the signal info if we swipe up on the theater, or like pull it down, so to say?
Or just replace the tab for software update.
Yeah. Like, make it easier accessible. I don't want to keep on clicking because it matters so much, especially for your initial setup and your first 6 months of use.
Yes. But there's not many people that nerd out with it like we do. There's very few clients that I know and have that play with the sound settings and this and that and all this shit.
I mean, I wouldn't say that you need to do it for the harmony, but like anybody.
The theater is a different animal. Theater is a different animal. Mozart is a completely different animal to the ASC platform bar none. That there's just no comparing it anymore. But if you go and look in, like, let's say the Avant, in the depth of the settings, you will find all of those settings that are in the app more openly exposed under the advanced settings in the tabs, right? Where
Yes.
you got to go a little bit further and further in the Avant menu, but you can. At least the nice thing with the Avant that you have reset to default. So if you fuck this up, you can still go back without factory
It's
resetting.
very important to have.
And that's, I think, one thing that's missing with the factory default reset to default as per the
Speaker
listening
connections.
positions.
Yes, please.
So there are still a couple things that are missing in the BNO app.
The missus is gone earlier in the week for a few days, so I have to retune everything still. I've been dreading this, and because it's so much work with so many speakers, right?
It's a half a day process. It's a half a day process. Like, that's also what some people don't realize, that, when you're installing these things, that, the installation really nowadays depends, right? If you have to fuck with cables in the walls and blah blah blah, yeah, that can take a couple hours. But once you're finished, you're more or less, in my opinion, 50% done, because then the acoustic tuning and blah blah blah, and the explanation to the customer that comes with it, and they'll never understand everything in the first hit. There is just no way. There's just no way.
It's too much.
It's way too much, and too many things to click at. It's like, Jesus Christ. And they get to the point, you know what, just fucking make sure that it turns on, right? And there should be follow-up visits. Yeah, and there should be follow-up visits as well, especially for the 50s clients and even 28 clients, where you get these different nuances of sound that you can manipulate, I guess, to the client's liking, or at least explain to them.
Is that, now that you mentioned that, I'm just thinking, is that something where, like, the perception of high end could be more attained if you, I don't know, like, have a courtesy visit after like 2-3 months, or maybe a call and just ask, like,
I think it's very important for the courtesy visits. It's just the same thing. Like, I guess the analogy I would have to that is, like, no matter how good the chef is, if he doesn't know where the ingredients are in the kitchen, he can't really cook a good meal, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like, if you have all these settings and twerks and sliders and fucking on-offs and whatever's, right, that you don't really have a grasp and understanding of how it works, and inherently you just screw up sound system by you playing with it, and you just don't know where to go with it, or you forgot that you should be duplicating the listening presets before you start messing with it, so you have somewhere to go back, because there is no reset to default per speaker position. So, and that's where it comes in. Like, depends on what content people consume as well. Like, the puck peripheral unit control boxes, like, the cable TV boxes sound completely different, and sometimes are lower by a few dBs than they are compared to the natively built-in sources that are in the LG panel or Apple TV. And,
and for some reason, YouTube is so much louder than all the other ones.
Yeah, but then again, depends on what you consume on YouTube, because there are some channels that I watch, I'm like, fuck, man, I got to put you on 65, and then the next thing that comes in just blows my head off. Yeah. So there are those things, but yeah, there's a lot more ingredients now to cook with than that's ever been possible before, because it was all just encapsulated to the point of their, I guess, even core ideology for BNO, that it should be all the complexities should be hidden away from the clients' view, right? It should be done on a customer service settings type of thing, blah blah blah. But now that people are way more tech savvy than they used to be in the 15-20 years ago, right? Because you just don't have a choice. Fucking grandma that's 95 years old had an iPhone, right? Yeah. So, and you either adopt or you die. Like, you don't have a choice now, not like to be an electronic dinosaur, as people used to call themselves. And even if they still do call themselves that, it's still bullshit. You still know how to print the goddamn PDF. You still know how to create one. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't have a choice to be completely computer inept. And with that, I guess that introduction of all these new more and more features comes, that people now have. And it's also, I think, the natural need of people that's developed with all these settings and permissions and whatever you have in the phones, right, that you always stick with, that, you know, that level of customization is almost to be expected from other products as well.
Yeah.
So I wish there was another customization mode able on the B&O app, which is dark mode. And, you know, put the dark mode in, and when you go into the teaser or whatever, when it goes black, turn that to gray screen instead, or dark gray. So there is a little bit of a difference optically, but I think that the dark mode should be available. And I'm not the biggest complainer, but I do find every now and then when I do use the remote on my phone in the Avant, like in the fucking bedroom, dude, I have nothing on, man, and all of a sudden, poof, like you get this white screen, and you know, you got a Popeye aim it with one eye closed, and for God's sakes, like, can we not just agree and get along?
Yeah, invert the colors. That wouldn't be too bad.
So,
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if they really want to be the very high net worth individual speaker selling company, right? Like, you need to think about the little things that you don't charge for but add to the experience. Like, if somebody buys a combo of theater in 50s or theater in 90s, like, I don't know, at least give them a call 2 months in to see if you could just pop round to see if they could need some help or explanation or that sort of thing, right? And not necessarily charge for it.
that does happen in B&O because you have the ROS where there is 3 follow-ups within, you know, first one I think is within 2 weeks or a week after the purchase. Next one is a month, and next one is 3 months after, which, you know, if you adhere to it, it works.
But
and
if there is a standard emails, right? Like,
now, I used to call my clients and just follow up. How's it going? Blah, blah, this and that, and find out. And most of the shit back in the day, now it's a little harder with the app, right? But most of the stuff back in the day was addressable by just simply going, you knowing, or me knowing the menu system. You know, I have a good photographic memory, I guess. So I just know where everything is laid out on all the B&O TV menus. And it's easier to navigate. It's a little more tricky now with the LG panel, especially if it's a C or G and what year, because the menus are different to navigate that. But most of the time, everything is more or less unified, especially with the web OS now. The menus are very much the same, so it's easier to navigate, and you can remedy a lot of it via, you know, or remotely, and also you can remedy a lot of it thanks to the product health center, where you can pipe in, and as long as the product is on network reachable, you should be able to fix a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So we've gone a long ways with B&O, but there's a lot more to go.
Well, if 50s and 90s are too expensive, you can always just buy a Genesis.
Listen to
you
the
can
music
dual
system
purpose, and you can still drive around with your B&O.
And I guarantee you that if you drive this around, you will never have neighbors' noise complaints.
Yeah, that's also true. I mean, here, like the GV80, right, starts at 58 grand, which is cheaper than 50s, but like 30 grand or 20 grand.
Fuck, you know. So even if you load it fully, it's still going to be a good deal.
Yeah.
With acoustic lenses popping out probably too, just like in the 50s.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good week. Glad to be back again. We'll see you all again next week, probably.
Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Button.